back out again, coming out of Brightlingsea. There's a bit of a youth regatta going on all this week, as it's Pyefleet week, I believe it's called. It's nice and busy. It's not light winds, we've only got about 8 knots of wind. I'm just going to run up the Colne, just up to Wivenhoe and back. I'm going to spend the night in Pyefleet Creek. Just single sail only. Nice and relaxing. I'm letting the autopilot do the steering at the moment. We're going to be on a beam reach shortly, going to be turning straight down the mouth of the river. It looks very strange at the moment because the tide is almost full. It's a huge expanse of water. In a few hours and this is going to be turned into a tiny little river. It's very strange how the landscape changes just from tides. Wivenhoe now. Not doing too bad. It's about five knots apparent, and we're doing about 4 knots speed. Wind forecast today was anywhere sort of between 7 and 11, so that's about right. Coming up to a turn soon. The wind is just dying right off again. It's gone right down to 2. It's sort of coming through in little spits and spats. Just about to make out the old railway line crossing. There used to be a railway line that used to run from Brightlingsea away to Colchester. They got cut as part of the beaching cuts in the 1960s. It's a shame really, because I reckon that would be quite a popular line nowadays, because I think the bus routes in Brightlingsea are a bit rubbish. This part of the country looks very nice from this angle. It's a lot better from here than what it does when you're on the road, I have to say. Coming up to the outer part of Wivenhoe now, starting to hit the moorings. I think that's the only working quay down here now. There used to be a big shipbuilding and various trade routes that used to come up here up until fairly recently, right up to Colchester. But all of Colchester's been declassified now. So there's officially no trade ships go up anymore. I think that over there is the only working boats to come up here apart from the oyster people. Oh, it's just gone dead again. Just keep getting spats where the wind just dies completely, and then all of a sudden it will just pick straight back up again. We're at the Wivenhoe tidal barrier. I think they could shut this off in the event of a storm surge or a massive tide. That's Wivenhoe Sailing Club. Those moorings, those pontoon moorings on the inside are actually free for the evening if you ever bring your boat up here. They're paid for by the Colchester Council to encourage tourism into the area. On a first come first served basis though, you can't book them, so you turn up if you've got space, you're alright, and if you ain't, you haven't. But you have to watch the tide though, because obviously it does. The water does disappear from there shortly. Got a leisurely run today. I've only, well, to be honest, the wind is so little it's not actually moving the cup, so I can't actually tell what the wind is, but it can't be much more than 2 or 3 knots. We're travelling down the Pyefleet Creek at 1.54 knots GPS. Still, it's better than being indoors watching telly. Just got enough forward motions for steerage. We're running at the moment, even though the wind's very light. This boat here, CK9, I saw this being done up quite a few times. The actual people who own it use the same boat yard as what I had mine in. Lovely fishing smack. It does quite well in the races apparently. I know they spend a lot of time and care looking after it. It's in the yard 2 or 3 times a year. There's a lady that paints that and she's done a bloody good job of it. That's the oyster fishery over there. This whole area is littered with oyster beds. They go back to the Roman times. It's world famous for them, to be honest. Colchester Oyster Company. They ship them literally all around the world. Going back on the mooring today. One night's enough. Just going to go for a leisurely sail around the estuary. Can't get back on the mooring until about 4 o'clock, so I think the idea is just to go up and down the estuary, just to play around a bit, play around with different sail patterns. Stop for lunch somewhere, then go back on the mooring later on in the afternoon. Just coming out of Pyefleet, Brightlingsea over there, going to be going back in there later. Mersey Island that side. Not sure what to do today, I might just skim Mersey Island. We're not going to be doing much speed sailing today. This is a bit slow progress. We're doing 2 knots at the moment in 4.3 knots of wind. Still almost running, but we're about to come around the corner, so it might pick up a little bit as we go on to a reach around the corner. Still, it's a lovely day. It's very quiet out today. Can't see any sails on the horizon at all. I expect to see a few people out today. The kids are now on school holidays. Perhaps everyone's been a bit lazy. Who can blame them? That's the entrance to Pyefleet there. And the Colne straight up over there. There's a nice catamaran over there. They were in Pyefleet. They've motored up here as I went by. They're doing something very interesting. That's the Mersey Spit there. They've gone right up against the beach. I don't know what sort of draft they draw, but quite low as being a cat. But if you look at the chart, you'll see my position. You'll see that little yellow spit that's sticking out. I think they're just going to sit there at anchor. Maybe go ashore and explore Mersey Island for a bit. It's a bloody good idea. They've got a rising tide, so they're not going to ground at all. reached the end of the Colne here. I'm officially in the sea now. I was going to skim round and go maybe up to Clacton Pier and back, but well, look at it, look, it's actually gone completely dead. The wind has stopped completely. We're going 0.3 knots. Go much slower, we'll be going backwards. I should have brought some bait because I've done some fishing. Just anchored up here and... oh well. Nice day, if necessary I have to go on the engine. But at the moment just going to sit here and let the tide take us. Had a lunch stopover outside the Toby Carberry off of Clacton. Heading back to Brightlingsea now. We'll be going back in the morning for about 4 o'clock, so 3 hours to get back to the cricket. Still right now, the wind speed's picked up to about 15. Helm was nicely balanced. Doing around about 4.5 to 5 knots at the moment, so that's doing alright now. We just rounded Brightlingsea Spit. We're running now. Still fairly light winds, but I haven't pulled out the Genoa yet, but I'm just going to leave it as is. Sort of holding it out the main over to stop it driving across. Coming up to Brightlingsea, I'm a little bit early to be honest, so I've felt the sails are down. I've dropped the main and packed it away and gone for a small Genoa, held it down. There's a Thames barge that followed me all the way down the Wallet, that's done the same, it's dropped most of its sails and only running nice and slow just like I am. I don't know if they're going into Brightlingsea or up to Wivenhoe, maybe, I don't know. She was on full sail all the way down the Wallet. As soon as we turned into past Colne Point, she started dropping sails. It's unbelievable, them things used to be crewed just by 2 people. I think it must have been hard work doing that.